Hey folks, so this is the second video in the Parabolas section of chapter 10. So if you go down to example 3, this is where we're going to pick up. So in this section, I'm asked to graph a parabola, and I'm asked for a whole bunch of different things. I'm asked for the focus, the directrix, the vertex, the axis of symmetry. In order to find any of those things, I need to know, first of all, what my p-value is. So that's what I'm going to work on first. Remember that your p-value, this right here, is the 4p. If you go back to your standard equation, this is 4p. So I'm going to take that -4 and I'm going to set it equal to 4p, and then I'll solve so that I know that my p-value is -1. I can tell by looking at my equation that this is going to be a concave down parabola, first of all because of the x squared. X squared tells me it's either up or down, and the negative p-value tells me it's going to be down. This also can help me with getting my vertex. Remember, vertex is hk, and when you look at your equation, you don't have an h and you don't have a k, so both of those values are 0, 0. So this is at the origin. So we go ahead and we draw our vertex at the origin. All right. As mentioned, we already know it's concave down. Now, getting the focus. We know that the focus has to be on the inside of the parabola, and we know it has to be 1 unit away from the vertex. So you've got your graph here, and I've noticed I've already marked the focus, but it's 1 unit away from my vertex, and it's going to be on the inside of my parabola. So where does that occur? Well, that's going to occur at the coordinate 0, -1. My directrix then has to be a line that's 1 unit on the other side of the vertex. So once again, I've already got it drawn, but your focus was 1 unit away and your directrix is 1 unit away from that vertex. So this is a horizontal line, and horizontal lines always have the equation of y equals a number. So it's going to be at y equals +1. My axis of symmetry, remember this is what cuts the parabola exactly in half. So this is a vertical line, and it's the vertical line through x equals 0. Now, in order to get 2 more points to draw, and I know that you can see I've already drawn it, but I just did that as a prep for this video. In order to draw my parabola, it's nice to have 1 more point that I can find a mirror image for. So what I did was I just randomly chose an x value. I could have chosen 1, 2, 3. I could have chosen anything, but I just randomly chose an x value of 4, and I plugged it into my original equation. So 4 squared is 16 is equal to -4 times y. Divide on both sides by that -4, and you get a y value of -4. So then I have a coordinate to draw, and that coordinate is at 4, -4. And you can see that I already have that on the graph, 4, -4. Because of the axis of symmetry, then I can also draw the mirror image, and the mirror image is going to be at -4, -4. So now I've got enough information to draw my parabola. You really need 3 points to be able to draw a good parabola, a good width on your parabola. All right, I have an extra example that I just threw in here. So this is probably not in your notes. You'll want to maybe just grab a piece of paper or use the back of your notes or something like that. But this one is not asking us to graph. It's asking us to find these 4 things: the vertex, the focus, the directrix, and the axis of symmetry. Here's the equation that we've been handed, already in standard form. All right, so our vertex is going to be hk. So that's going to be 1, -1. The p-value, remember p comes from right here, and this is going to be 4 times p. So 4 times p is equal to 16. So that means that my p-value is equal to 4. If I need to write that down, 4 times p is equal to 16. Okay, so that's why p is equal to 4. The concavity on this, notice that my x's are being squared, so it has to be up, down. My p-value is positive, so this is going to be a concave up parabola. My focus has to be P away from the vertex. Now, what you notice here is that I've drawn a picture that has the vertex on it. And my vertex is at 1, -1. I know that my parabola has to be concave up, so I'm just going to draw a little miniature showing me what direction my parabola is going to go in. So that means that my focus has to be going up, and it's going to be 4 units away from that vertex. So if you go 4 units up, then you will land, oops, sorry about that, you will land at the coordinate 1, 3. Okay. My directrix has to go 4 units down. So my focus went 4 units up. My directrix has to go 4 units down because it's on the outside of the parabola. And remember, this is a line equation. This particular time, it's going to be a horizontal line. So this is going to be a y equals a number. And so if you go 4 units down, then my directrix is going to occur at y equals -5. My axis of symmetry, this is the line that cuts the parabola exactly in half. It's a vertical line, so it will be at x equals 1. And those are all the things that I asked for in that particular extra example. Now let's go to part B, which is the other half of example 3. So we just took a little bit of a rabbit trail there for example 3. All right, so for example 3, part B, our vertex is going to be at 0, 0. P-value, 12, is equal to 4 times P. So my P-value is going to be 3. My y's are squared, so it has to be right, left. And since my P-value is positive, it's going to be concave right. My focus has to be, let's say it like this. Sorry about that. All right, so if my vertex is here and it's concave right, then my focus has to go to the right. My directrix has to go to the left. All right, so my focus then is going to be 3 units away. So that's going to occur at 3, 0. My directrix is going to be 3 units in the other direction, but don't forget it's a line. And this time it's a vertical line. So my vertical line then is going to be at x equals -3. My axis of symmetry cuts the parabola in half. This is a horizontal line in this case, so it's going to be y equals 0. Now, I chose a random value for x just to see what my y value would be so that I could have a point to graph. And so I'm going to use the equation, plug in 3 for my x value, and that's going to give me a y squared equals 36. And so that means my y is equal to positive or -6. So then you'll notice, here's my vertex. Here's the 2 coordinates, 3 plus or minus 6. I've got 3 positive 6 and 3 negative 6. And then I can go ahead and draw my parabola. How can you determine if the parabola is going to open up and down versus opening right and left? Again, the first thing you have to pay attention to is what variable is being squared. If your x's are being squared, it's going to open up and down. If your y's are being squared, it's going to open right and left. Sorry, it's messing with me there. It's going to open to the right and to the left. All right, so that will wrap up this video. Stay tuned for the final video.